Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Love Bay Afrobeat Music Talk Radio. I'm your host, Sean Williams, aka Mr. President. And this is the safe room where it's a safe space for entrepreneurs and business owners to share their personal and professional stories right here in Toronto. Starting off with me for a bit. Our guest is coming very, very soon, so do not worry. They are on the way. But since I have a couple of moments with you guys right now, I'd love to know who's out there on the online world. If you're in the chat, if you're watching this on YouTube, on LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, again, make sure you guys give a like, share, comment, and subscribe. Please do so. And again, please support everything we're doing here at Love Bay Radio. We have donations that you can give out. Y'all see the number at the bottom. For anyone who watches the show, I'm pumping it out immediately. So that way, I'm ahead of the curve, okay? 437-778-3299, okay? So it goes a long way. You could also check us out on the Apple Store and Google Play if you want to download Love Bay Radio. Again, we're live right now on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, the Love Bay website. All the fixins, as you can see, we got the new background too. It's given a lot of nighttime vibes, late night show. So you see the CN Tower as well. I'm kind of pointing different directions. So yeah, the CN Tower right there. It's glowing and everything. So definitely, we're upgrading. We're upgrading, ladies and gentlemen. I do want to ask anyone who is out there, we're in the month of March, the midway point of March. So we're already a quarter way through 2026, which is crazy to believe. But I'm curious, like, what are some goals that you wanted to set early in the year that you've already accomplished? What are some goals that you haven't accomplished yet, but you're working towards to? Is there anything new of a goal that you want to do? I would probably say for myself, there's things that I've been able to do so far that I'm grateful for. There's other things still in the work line, still trying to put things together, but I can't complain. So I would love to know, what are your goals that you have done, some that you're still working on. Put it in the comments, put it in the chat. I'm enjoying myself. Obviously, things are busy. We have to stay busy as a human beings. Baseball's coming back next week, so I'm excited for that. For all my Toronto Blue Jays fans, listen, I know we don't talk about what happened in October. We don't talk about what happened in October and November. We don't. All right, it's done. The WBC, the World Baseball Classic, wrapped up as well. So we're all good. We're all good. We're going to be starting anew. And I'm excited to see what this season's going to be about, because overall, it really is going to be a fun Blue Jay season. So I'm hoping that this time we can take it home and, win the World Series overall. But again, we're still just waiting for our guests to come in. In the meantime, again, if you guys have any questions, pop them in the chat. Let me know. I see Chris is here. Frequency Event Promotions, our mainstay. What's up, Chris? How are you doing, man? I feel like I haven't actually talked to you in a minute, like on the phone, in person, in a while. I feel like I have to call you after this, man. I just want to know how you're doing, bro, because listen, life has been lifing. Life has been busy in a good way. In a good way, Obviously, it's good to stay active. What's good? I'm good, just chilling, keeping my head down. That's it, really. I'm definitely looking to just even enjoy myself more. I think, like, for a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners, we focus a lot on the work, and of course the work needs to be done. But at the same time, I think it's important to have that self-care and that time to relax. So, definitely trying to pick up hobbies going into the summer, but I'm doing good. How are you, man? How are you, Chris? Like, I want to know how you're doing. We have a little bit of time because our guest hasn't arrived yet. They're on their way. So once they come, we're going to bring them on screen and we can get started. But again, if there's anyone else out there that wants to ask any questions, put a comment, anything, like, I'm here. This is the only time y'all going to get to chat with me, like up, one-on-one. Like, if this was a solo, like, you got me. But, I'm kind of on borrowed time right now. So again, if you have any questions, feel free. Feel free. Still waiting for our guests, so no worries. Link when you can. I mean, let me know. Like drop the date. Like, when do you want to get together? Just let me know. Working on projects. That's good, man. That's good. I've been trying to keep up in the group chats. I know sometimes I'll see some of your posts. I know currently you have some things going on with frequency event promotions when it comes to some banners, some sales. Definitely like share that with the people right now. Again, like this is the safe room. So we want people to share like what they're doing, like what's been going on. So of course, like let us know, right? But again, if you are just tuning in right now, if you're just coming in, you're probably wondering like what's going on. This is the safe room here on Love Bay Radio. I'm your host, Sean Williams. We're just waiting for our guests to arrive. They'll be here in a couple of minutes. But until then, we're doing Q&A with the Prez. That's what I'll probably call it. Q&A with the Prez. So if you have any questions, send them my way. Like I'm an open book. Sometimes. Depends. It depends on the day. But most times I am an open book. So please share your questions. I'm here. I see, like, again, we got frequency event promotions in the chat. Chris, we're having our conversation. And people also, if you do want to know about me and Chris, we have a really good relationship. We also have Chris on the show. He's been a previous guest. So go check out his conversation. Let me see if I could remember the name. Because like sometimes like there's so much conversations I do that like it's like, okay, I need to do one and then I move on, right? So I'm gonna try to pull it up since I got Chris here. I appreciate all his support because overall, he does his best to always check in. And I love that. So again, and shout out to Love Bay as well. Shout out to, yeah, let's give a round of applause to Love Bay. Like for real. For real, like shout out to Love Bay. They are incredible folks. Let me see. Yes. So staying in the mix, promotion and marketing. So for anyone that wants to check out our conversation with me and Chris, go to YouTube, type in Love Bay Radio, the safe room. There is a playlist. If you scroll down, you will see Christopher Lawrence in the thumbnail. Beautiful gentleman. So definitely take a listen. Again, the name of the episode, Staying in the Mix. He was actually one of my few episodes after returning from a break some point in 2024. So again, it was a great conversation. So please go check the time to listen to that. But again, if there's any questions y'all want to ask me, feel free. We talked about a couple stuff, kind of my love, my love for the Jays. Um, in terms of other things, I would probably say the weather. It's not getting terrible, but it's not getting better. I think that's like the best way to describe Toronto weather. I feel like Toronto weather is just it's so bipolar. You don't know what to expect. You generally don't know what to expect, and one day it's like, okay, we're in like the mid teens in terms of weather. It's gonna be warm, and the next day you get like 5 centimeters of snow, and it's like, oh well, that's Toronto for you. So I can't explain. I also hear like some of the Love Bay members are participating in the chat. Fake spring, yes. Honestly, we might have to trademark that. Fake spring, yeah. It's like not completely spring, but we're over winter. It's like fake spring. There's got to be like a new season that we develop. I think that's super important. So overall, I think that would be hilarious. Okay, our guest is here. So you know what? I think it's time to bring out the intro. Y'all know me when it comes to introductions. I do not play. I do not play when it comes to the introduction. So, ladies and gentlemen, this individual, may I say, might be one of the top MCs in Toronto. Like I stumbled upon her page and I'm seeing event after event after event. And I'm thinking to myself, like, yo, she is a road runner. She is all over the place in a good way. She is absolutely killing it. She is the co-founder of Women Economics, a nonprofit empowering women in various industries. She's also a community builder, known for organizing impactful events through her platform. And overall, this is someone that honestly, as a top MC in the city, I'm inspired by because it's something definitely like a lot of people get nervous about, but she honestly makes it look easy. I don't know what other words I could describe to get this individual on the show, and I'm grateful that she's on the show. So I would love to see her lovely face before we fully introduce her because I know she was building up the hype. She was like, "Listen, I'm gonna milk it out, Sean. Like I ain't gonna come in immediately. I'm gonna wait a bit, and then then I'm gonna pop in." So I mean, overall, I'm excited to have her on the show, ladies and gentlemen. Please help me welcome Adewume Ajike. Where is she? It's time to show face. There you are. Sort of. I think you went blank. Don't worry. We'll get you back. We'll get you back. But again, Adewume, I'm telling you, you guys are gonna really love her story. She is someone who, again, is incredible. Like, I kid you not, when we first connected and I started to really get in tune to her profile page, I was amazed. I was stunned because I felt like one day you would see like, okay, here's a recap of event that she MC'd, and then the next day she's already posting about the next event that she's going to MC, and then the day after that there's another event that she's posting, and it's like, how many bookings have you got in the pipeline? Like, it's incredible. It's just amazing at what she does. She's such a hard worker. In addition to being a co-founder of a nonprofit and also being an incredible MC, Adewume is also a senior AI product manager with a multicultural background, blending African and Middle Eastern heritage. Okay, we see you. We see you out there. So again, we're hoping to get her on in a bit because right now I'm kind of fiending to ask her questions, or definitely want to hear her. I'm pretty sure everyone around the world wants to hear her. Hello there, Adewume.
Hello, hello, Sean. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you? I knew you had to make the big entrance. Like, I'm gonna make Sean wait. I'm gonna make the people
Yeah.
wait.
You know what they say, sometimes you gotta wait for that special thing to just come. So thank you for that patience. I'm super, super excited to be here today. I was just kind of hearing you talk a little bit just a few minutes ago, and I was like, okay, the hype was really good. So
Okay,
thank
okay.
you
So I see
for
what you're trying to do. You're trying to plot against you. Like, you know what? Let me just hear what Sean has to say. No, it's okay. It's all jokes. It's all jokes.
Yeah. How are you doing, Sean? How has your day been?
Uh, it's work. You just gotta
Yeah.
gotta get into it, get it done. And these are my favorite parts of the day where you're clocked out and you can just relax.
Yeah. I can imagine just like chilling, some nice like drinks and some snacks and just enjoying the evening. Same, same. It's been such a busy day, but I'm glad to be here. I'm really, really happy to be here as well. Thanks so much for having me.
Of course, of course. So before we get into the main questions, we have to start off with our opening segment, which is the hot seat. Now, Adewume, don't worry, it's not as hot. It's not scorching hot. It's actually very chill. Really,
Yeah.
it's very, very chill. So I'm gonna ask you 4 questions, and I want you to answer them to your best abilities. Okay?
Okay. Okay. I'm
Okay.
like, I hope these questions are easy, but sure.
It's not her asking like, "Yo, you better not ask me nothing that's gonna scratch my head, Sean." Like, don't worry.
Yeah.
As she proceeds to scratch her, like, oh gosh, oh gosh. No, don't worry, don't worry. So,
Okay.
outside of the work that you do, tell me something about yourself in one sentence.
Oof. One sentence. Extroverted, energetic, friendly woman that loves to be around community.
I love
So
that.
that's one sentence that can be fully unpacked. I love people. I love supporting people, helping people. I love being part of community and also creating community in different areas of my life, in different seasons of my life. And my natural skill sets, who I am a extroverted person. I would say that's how I describe myself. Outside my 9 to 5, outside my day job, and that's how a lot of people have described me as well.
I feel like you saying that I'm looking at a clone version of myself just in a different gender. Really. Because like
Yeah.
everything you said, it's like I can totally relate. Like I do have that extroverted energy, and some people assume that like, oh no, like there's no way. Like I feel like there's gotta be some introverted side about you. Like, nah, like I'm genuinely like if you meet me at a function, like I'm the type of person, listen, I'm the type of person that if I pull up to a function, I'll probably have like a speaker on my side, blasted music, just walking in, just like, hey, what's going on? Like that's just me,
Yeah,
you know?
like the life of the party.
Right, exactly. So I definitely see that, and I love that for you. Okay, so my next question, and this one, okay, this one's not super sticky, but
Okay.
it might allow you to think a little bit. So
Okay.
I
Okay.
want you to tell me an event that you emceed and you felt surprised by the experience. And what I mean by that, let's say you had a certain expectation, saying, you know what, maybe I'm super excited, like I want to go and MC and do this, or maybe it's man, like the task is pretty huge. But then by the end of it, you're like,
Yeah.
it was a complete 180. Like, oh, I was
Mhm.
nervous, but it went great, or I was really
Yeah.
excited, but it's like, maybe some things kind of happened in a way where like I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah. This is a tough one. I think my answer may surprise you a bit. So I MC more than just corporate events. I also do weddings, birthday parties, social gatherings, and so on. Kids parties it's a handful. I think kids parties has been the most fun for me and also the most exhausting at the same time. It can be hard to please teenagers. You know, like that stage as a teenager where like you like things, but like you don't showcase any expressions on your face. So like you're saying the most coolest thing, you have the most epic games, and they just look at you with their straight faces. But low key, after the event, they tell their mom, that was the best birthday party ever. But it's like they have no expression. So I think that experience kind of allowed me to realize that you don't need to pay attention to their visuals to know whether or not they're having a good time. Everybody is different, right? Some love it, but they're just kind of calm, cool, collected with their facial expressions. And others, they kind of showcase it all the time, right? Especially the young people. They're always on my legs and asking me for more. So that would be an experience that I just can't shake off or forget.
Yeah, honestly, listen, when it comes to teens, listen, I've been able to talk to high school students. I get it.
Yeah.
Like when you're
Yeah.
speaking, it's just like they don't look like they care. And then afterwards you leave, and it's like, yo, like that guy was spitting. Like, yo, he
Mm-hmm.
was really talking. It's just like, where was that when I was in front of your face? Like, come on, like
Yeah.
I need something. But like I totally get it. Overall, it's really a different experience compared to a corporate event. Like I would always say that I would rather speak in front of like thousands and thousands of people
Mm,
if instead if you put me in front of like 10 of my best friends because I know it's
mm.
gonna become a roast session. They're like, yo, you're corny, you're bad, bro. Just like, nah, I
Mhm,
can't.
mhm. I mean, friends are different. I feel that, you know, in my humble experience and opinion, people have different types of friends. So certain of your friends may not see you in all your elements. So they could be surprised to know that you can actually talk this way, you can present this way, you can act this way. And I find that when I have events that friends are part of the audience, it's nice to know that they're seeing another side of me as well, and they're supporting that side that it's their first time experiencing.
All right. It's a good way of putting it, honestly. Yeah. Again, didn't really think about that perspective, but I'm glad to know. Again, that's why we're here for the safe room. We're learning. We're learning
Yeah,
together. Okay.
yeah.
My next question. I want you to tell me an interesting fact that you rarely share about yourself.
Hmm. Okay, I'm gonna say two. I'm gonna say like a fact, and then I'll say something a bit like interesting about me. So my fact is that I am left-handed. I feel because we live in a very digital world, nobody really writes like before. So it's like nobody will really know I'm left-handed unless they see me eat or eat. Yeah, I feel like apart from me eating, you wouldn't necessarily know. But they do say that left-handed are like more creative and smart and all of that. So maybe that's what gives it away. But another interesting fact is that I don't know how to whistle or juggle. It's something that I feel like it's a skill I'm like low key I want to have. I'm like it's good to have that skill to know how to whistle, to know how to juggle.
No, I feel you. Honestly, first things first, I'm also a lefty. So
Ooh,
Southpaw's in the
okay.
building.
High five. Did you know that we make up about 10% of the world population? That's how rare we are.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, that's scary.
I mean, it's cool, you
It's
know?
cool, but like it's
Yeah.
like 10%?
Yep. Pretty small.
Wow. Okay, my bad. My bad. Hey, again, shout out to all the lefties out there. We got to represent. And yeah,
Yeah.
listen, the whistle. I'm also the same thing. I can't whistle, so like, again, like I don't see it as like a negative, but definitely people think like, oh man, you can't whistle. It's like, so what? I mean, like, what do you know? It's like so that's like, oh, shut up. Like I don't care, but it's like, man, I wish I could whistle.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's true. I don't consider it like a negative thing. I don't know if it's advantageous to know how to whistle. I guess it depends, but it's something that when I see people do, I'm like, "Ah, it's okay. I have other skills."
I feel you. I feel you for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, final question for the hot seat. What is your personal safe room? So, what is the safe space, whether it's personal or not personal, whether it's like physical, whether it's mental, that allows you to be your authentic self?
Yeah. Oof. Okay, this is a good one. There's a movie I highly recommend people to watch the movie. It's called War Room, WARROOM. And the gist is that the person has a safe space that she goes to in order to pray, to connect with God, and so on. So for me, my safe space isn't necessarily a location, but it's the time I spend with God. So I'm a Christian, and when life throws me different things, and you know how life can be sometimes, the ups and downs, I lean on my Bible, my community, my church, fellowshipping. That has been my anchor during busy seasons, heavy seasons, joyful moments as well. So I do encourage everyone to find that. And for me, that has been God.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. We've actually had a couple guests on the show like give that exact same answer, their relationship with God. So like
Yeah.
I love that. I love that the community that I've been able to bring on the show has a very similar safe room and the connectivity with God. I think that's really important because I think for a lot of us as business owners too, I
Yeah.
think it's important not to just like do the work and just be fine with it, but also how can you incorporate God into what you're doing on a day-to-day basis as well?
Yeah. I think about it from the opposite perspective. Before it's like, okay, I have my day planned out and then I try to like, find and make time for God. But it's like, normally you dedicate the most important part of your day to what you find importance and significance. So when I think about it that way, I'm like, whoa, it's pretty bad that I give like only 10 minutes to God or like 5 minutes to do a short prayer. Why don't I restructure my day, my life to showcase what I value the most, right? What I find is my safe space and my safe spot. So there has been like a lot of mindset shift for me, and it's simple ways like listening to a Christian podcast, listening to worship music. All of that has just helped me overall.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you for sure. Okay, so that wraps up the hot seat. So
Thank
now we're gonna get
you.
into the main questions. Now the meat and potatoes. Again, for people who are just coming in right now, you're listening to the Safe from here on Love Bay Radio. We're here with Adebume. She's looking fresh with the cheetah print. I see like it's giving like cheetah girls, like cheetah licious
Yeah,
stuff
because
vibe.
we are
I like it.
sisters. Cheetah Girls was one of my favorite movies back in the Disney days.
Yes, listen, all-time classic. But now we're gonna get into, some of the main things that you do. Again, you mostly being an MC, and I mentioned this before the beginning. I don't know if you did hear this, but I said like I'm definitely inspired by you, by the work ethic and just the amount of like events you are doing. Like I'm telling you, there's like once you think, okay, you know what, that was fun. I got to do this event. It's like we're back on. I got like four more left to like do this week alone. I still got like another 10 for the month, which is incredible. So I
It's
mean,
yeah, it's been busy. I am grateful. I am grateful.
of course, you have to be, of course. So I want to ask you, how did you assess your ability, being an MC, an event MC without having that experience at the first, start? Like how could it be where like, you know what, I'm going into this and I'm trying it out and you realize, you know what, I'm pretty good at this. Like I could actually make something substantial, not only just for myself, but also bringing in people into these cultivating spaces, but also realize in the beginning that I don't have like the full chops yet. I have to build that rapport. So, like, what was that experience like, and how were you able to hone that ability? So now it becomes like I'm a seasoned veteran in this.
Yeah. Having people around you that allows you to be your authentic self. As a child, I was always known to be the talkative person, the yapper, the person that would be just chatting all the time in the classroom. You know, I used to ask a lot of questions in almost every parent teacher meeting. The teachers would tell my mom that people call me Blessing in my school days. Oh, Blessing talks a lot. Da, 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 da. And for a lot of people, they think that's a problem. They see it in the negative way, right? But then what happens is that you then dim a gift that's developing within your child that just needs to be nurtured. So for me, I'm grateful that I wasn't immediately cut off from talking. I just had to fine tune it. Throughout my high school, I rose my hands for leadership opportunities. I got involved in associations, I presented, and that was something I continued with at university. All of the different events I did in university was my practice ground. I got to practice in front of my fellow peers, my students. And you know how they say, the stakes can be low in your early days, and then, as you advance in your career and your life, stakes get bigger and higher. Little did I know that being consistent, being faithful, given my 100% in those moments, would allow me to be positioned for bigger opportunities. So far, I've had opportunities to present MC events at Bell, at TELUS, and then lots of nonprofit organizations, a lot of for-profit organizations as well. This month, I have one upcoming this Saturday. I have another one in April. I had one about 10 days ago. It's just been phenomenal and it's been amazing. Summarize, being able to have people around me that allow me to be my authentic self, nurturing that gift that I always had, raising up my hand for opportunities, being mentored. Watching other speakers, learning from them, their behaviors, the things they do, the things they don't do. That were small ways that I was able to get where I am today. Even before I had experience, I always think it's that like chicken and egg situation, right? It's like they wanted to have experience, but you need experience to have experience.
Yeah, it's like, you're applying for a job. It's like, what are you trying to like apply for? It's like to get experience. It's like, okay, well, you need to have experience. It's like, well, how am I supposed to get experience if you won't at least let me have that experience and have that opportunity? But I think even
Yeah.
from your answers, like you're definitely a student of the game. You're someone who has taken the time to really study, but also give your own style and your own touch. And I think really being an MC is that authenticity, but also being able to read a room and read crowds. Like you mentioned before, when you used to do like kids' parties and everything like that, sometimes like, okay, the way I present in a corporate space is going to be completely different if I'm, being an MC for kids at birthday
Oh
parties,
yeah,
stuff like that.
100%. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, kids parties. It's like you gotta break things down. You gotta hype things up. You gotta use a lot of facial expressions. You gotta move around. You gotta jump. You gotta be very patient because these kids, they're like, I want to be one of the line. Ah, he's stepping on my toes. Ah, da, 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 da. Right? But in corporate events, many times you gotta make sure that you know how to ground the room, right? You're making eye contact with different people in their audience and you're engaging them. You're carrying them along. You're slowing down in moments where you need to slow down. So points are being reinforced. And then you pick up the pace when the pace needs to be picked up, right? When there's a mic drop moment, you gotta know how to hype the crowd up to realize that before it even comes. So there's so much skills that is required to be an excellent MC.
Yeah, 100%. And like you mentioned, it's important to have like people surrounding you who are giving you that love and support, but I think also giving that feedback as well. It's sort of building that inner circle within your craft. And these are the people that are always like checking on you, that accountability piece. Like, what would you say has been like the most satisfying part, being able to have that inner circle of folks who can go up to you and say, Adewume, hey, listen, I think you're doing great. I think maybe you could try like this one or two suggestions just to see if this works. Like, how has it been so good for you to have that type of system in play so it still allows you to grow in the craft that you're doing?
It's been phenomenal. Knowing that there are people that sincerely care about my career growth and are willing to give me constructive criticism as much as they're willing to give praises. And it's a mindset shift where you don't hold praise too high that when you hear criticism, you are so beaten up. When you see both in the same light, you know how to move with grace if you received one more than the other. And my perspective is that criticisms gives you an opportunity to grow as well, right? So for me, I've embraced every feedback I get from a lot of MCs or even just people that attend the events. It's nice to hear what they liked, what they didn't like, and what I could have done differently as well.
Yeah, honestly, those are things that are super important. I feel like honestly, most of the times, if someone's giving feedback, I actually tell them like I want to hear the bad news first. I don't know if that's just me or not even bad news. Like I want you to just be honest with me. Like, yes, I know like people are
Yeah,
gonna support, especially like if you're running your own events and like you're the one that's putting everything together, you're gonna have people come out, they're gonna say like the common things like, wow, like this is so amazing, like I'm so proud of you. Like you're expecting that. But one thing that you may not expect is like, okay, but like be real with me. Like, is there something I could have done better? Is there something that you're noticing? It's like, yeah, I should probably tell Sean, like let him know. Like, those are things that I think matters a little bit more. But again, having that balance, that equilibrium of not just like the praise is so high that once you get hit with like even the slightest constructive criticism, it feels like you're getting a punch to the guts.
100%. I totally agree with that.
Yes. So I want to go on to the next question because I want to dive a little bit deeper into some of the pieces, the projects that you're doing. So obviously, I mentioned women in economics. There's also Oratel experience, which by the way, such an elegant name. Like I need to know like the backstory of Oratel. Like where did that name come to be? For I want to ask that first, and then after that, I want you to talk about how with Oratel, with women in economics, and with your faith as well. How does that trinity of responsibilities, or what I would say, how does that
Yeah.
trinity keep you grounded, but also challenge you every single day to grow and be able to bring impact to different communities. So first things first, again, break down how Oratel, like the name, and then how does that with women in economics and your faith, how does that trinity connect all together?
Love the question. Oratel, it's a blend of two words. It comes from the word an orator. So an orator is someone that speaks eloquently, speaks well, is crafted in what they do. And then,
Sorry, Adewumi, I didn't want to cut you off, but you're kind of like glitching. I think your audio is kind of cutting off on your end. Like I can hear you, but it's like chipping in and out.
okay, let me try. How is my audio now? Is it better?
It's still chipping in and out, so it's still cutting off. It was fine before, then I don't know what happened exactly.
Yeah, I did not do anything. Let's try. Let me try technology, right? Sometimes technology can just switch on you last
Yeah.
minute. Let me try connecting my headsets. Hopefully this works.
Okay. And if it's still not working, what you could do is just hop off, and then hop back on.
Okay, does this sound
Yeah.
better? Can you hear me? Is it
Yes.
better? Awesome. Okay. So you're asking me about orator. Orator is actually a
Yeah.
mix of two words. It comes from the word an orator. An orator is someone that's eloquent when they speak and they're good at what they do, an orator. And then to tell is to tell a story. So literally, I was telling myself, you know what? I want a unique brand name. I wanted something different. I wanted something that I can easily expand upon as my brand continues to grow. And I just decided to make up the word Oratel. So it's a blend of two words. My brand is meant to be known and recognized as someone who speaks eloquently, speaks well in different aspects and area of life. And right now, I'm starting off by being a professional MC. I actually did do like a full launch video last year because last year was when I registered the business officially. And so feel free to check out that video. It's linked in my Instagram page, and I have gotten great feedback about that. So that's a little bit about my brand name. And then, you briefly touched on Womb Economics. So that's my nonprofit. And bottom line, it exists to support the career development and financial capacity of women in different fields. We focus more on minority women because we do sense they are underrepresented, undersupported, and the list goes on. And because of the work we are doing, we see tremendous, tremendous, tremendous impacts. The number of LinkedIn messages I receive, just people like thanking us for all the events we host, the mentors we're able to connect to, is why I do what I do. And that's another opportunity where I'm able to be an orator. right? Where I'm able to showcase the Oratel brands to that. And so, how does this all blend with what I do as a person? My day job, I'm an AI product manager. On the side, I host events. I'm pretty active in my church. I have a full calendar. I have. I'm also a pretty much a family person, and this goes back to one of the words I described myself in the beginning, where I mentioned that I am a community driven, community focused person. I am part of community. I belong in community. I create community and I prioritize community. Um, so to me, I don't necessarily see the things I do as a burden. I get a lot of energy. I get inspired. Like I get ideas. I recently came across an Instagram post where the person was like, they have thought of all types of business ideas this past year, and one of their ideas is even to like start a new country, and I'm like, that's how my brain operates. I have so many ideas that it's beyond me, and I think that when you live your life that way, you have goals, visions, and dreams that's beyond you, that is, yeah, that beyond you, that's where you're able to actually create it like a legacy, right? And have things pass on, not necessarily in your name, but you're able to pass on something. That's the worldview I have.
Honestly, I think you might have to repeat everything for everyone again, and like they have to get their notebooks and write everything down because honestly, like it's incredible of how you're able to do all of this, and like how would you say like the time management comes into play? Because obviously there's so much that's going in. It's like I got to figure out how to put things together.
Yeah. Hmm. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's been interesting. I learned early on that balance is not having everything equal weight, but having some things more heavily weighted than others in different seasons of life. So I would say, like, for a season, I had to step back from like taking MC gigs because I couldn't, and had to prioritize my other ABC things I have on my to-do lists. Or realizing that there's so many things that I want to do, but I am intentionally not doing, not because I am not capable of doing it or because I'm lazy, but because I know my current capacity. I need to create systems that will enable me to do all the traditional things. So until I build those systems, I'm not gonna overwork myself. I'm not gonna burn out myself. And by God's grace, I do believe sincerely that there's a lot of time ahead of me to be able to do things in a fun manner, and pace myself and so on. Then the other way how I help myself with time management is to see time as a gift, meaning that nobody is owed it, right? Like, it's you don't know how long you're here for, technically speaking. So when you view it that way, you make the most of every time, every minute you have. You make time for rest as much as you make time for work, as much as you make time for community, and so on. And last thing that I recently started to do is to learn how to say yes and no. In the early days of my career, the advice I got was to say yes because you needed the opportunity, you needed the exposure, and so on. But once you've gotten the certain types of opportunities, once you've gotten certain exposure, you realize that saying yes to the same things all the time is not an added value for you. It's actually, it reaches a peak, then you start to experiencing diminishing returns. It takes wisdom to know when something is not an added value for you and you politely decline, or you then know how to introduce somebody else to fill up that spot, do that thing, and so on. You can't be everywhere. It's not possible, right? But you can grow with your time.
Honestly, again, I feel like I could just hop off and you can continue the rest of the conversation. Like you are dropping some heavy, heavy gems. I mean, just to kind of even piggyback on what you shared, I think that point of, using time as a gift is super important. And even mentioning before how you should be able to use your time effectively where it's not balanced, everything's be equal, but putting more weight on certain things and less, but still having that system in place. So, for example, I know there's a lot of business owners that for Q4, for example, some people might be closing out deals with clients. Other people maybe setting up certain things for the following year. So that way,
Exactly.
that's how they're operating. In summertime, maybe like that's where the most active I am. And maybe in like one quarter, let's say Q2, it's like still working, but maybe I'm taking a little bit more time for myself because obviously I just went hard for the last 3 quarters. So this is how I set things up. You mentioned like building systems. People use different tools like Trello, whatever the case may be, for time and scheduling,
Yeah.
having those like funnels in place. So that way you're not going around trying to look for people. It's like I know exactly who I need to get. I know exactly who my target audience is, and this is how I'm going to pull them in. And I think overall as well, when it comes to time, it is also blocking time for fun. Like you mentioned, it's not everything has to be business, business, business. Like for some people, it's like, you know what? I'm closing my laptop at 9 p.m. Like after that, I'm not doing anything else work related. I'm like, I'm gonna sit back, I'm gonna binge watch my Netflix show or whatever the case may
Yeah.
be. You know, that's
Yeah.
the things that you focusing on. So I think it is important to have those things in play. And even when you mention about if you have opportunities, not always saying yes to the same ones, because obviously you can get stagnant and you do see the decrease in value. But the one thing that really like wrong in the back of my head is that even if you're saying no, how are other people who are looking for those opportunities? How do you bring them into the spot? That is so
Exactly. Yeah.
crucial because I think, well, again, I keep saying this every single week. I feel like I'm gonna have to make this a conversation. Gatekeeping. I feel like a lot of the
Oof.
times,
Yeah.
people have like opportunities and they don't want to share it because it's like, oh, it's just me. It's like me, myself, I. It's like we're all trying to grow. Like we're all trying to
Yeah.
get to what we
Yeah.
need to be. And sometimes my destination is not the same destination you're going to. So even if
Mm-hmm.
you're holding back information, like what's the reason?
Yeah. Gatekeeping is a big topic. I actually made a post recently on LinkedIn about how we should stop gatekeeping. I think that some people they don't realize they gatekeep. It could just be their natural response to the fear of seeing other people succeed, and that could impact their success. I don't view my success or somebody else's success as a hindrance to my success. I believe that two people can be successful at the same time, 10 people can be successful at the same time. I don't believe that my success is dependent on you failing. That's a very bad way to view life. And that's such a wrong way to even think about success in the first place. Why does my success have to depend on you failing? Like, no, thank you. I would love for all of us to succeed, you know? And even something as simple as finding a job, right? Somebody can have a negative perspective and be like, well, if I get hired, that means X number of people didn't get hired. Well, I succeeded, they failed. Not necessarily. They'll just get another job that maybe fits them better in that season, right? And so on. So it's really about perspective. And I do hope that people stop gatekeeping when it comes to opportunities. But one thing I would say as a piece of advice is that people remember people that are around them. You know, imagine this, Sean. Let's say, we're in touch very often, maybe once in a while, we just check in, we grab coffee. If someone tells me that they're looking for a radio host, you are at the top of my mind just because we naturally keep in touch, just naturally. Versus receiving a random cold email, you never interact with me before, you've never attended anything I've done before, you've never even liked a single of my posts or comments, it's very unlikely that I would remember you the day that it matters. Again, not because you're bad, but just because you're not at the top of my mind. So when you think about it that way, you realize that showing up for others will help them remember you in the day you need help, right? And people may call that gatekeeping, but it's not gatekeeping, just that out of sight, out of mind. You support me, I support you. We're all in this together. And yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, listen again. There's nothing you said wrong. I think honestly, I have to talk to the Love Bay team to see if we can get you to have your own show here, low key. Because like again, you're absolutely eating right now. You're honestly eating. But no,
Oh my gosh. I'm
it's
so
so
sorry.
true.
I didn't know you were hungry. I ate and I left no crumb.
No, I love it. I absolutely love it. I want to go on to the next question. So I really want to dive into just you when you're in that headspace of being an MC. So like again, you kind of talked about it a bit. Like you do keep an eye out for like, when you were getting started as an MC, you were watching people, how their mannerisms were, how they acted. I would love for you, Obviously don't spill too much of the tea because I know maybe you're like protected, like I can't be giving Sean everything. Next thing you know, like he might steal my thing. But just if we're continuing gatekeeping and not trying to do so, but maybe in a very, big
Yeah.
perspective, it's like, okay, this is kind of like how I approach myself. This is how I, you know, assess every situation. Like, what are like your mannerisms when it comes to being an event MC?
Hmm. This one is hard because it's very it's tailored to each person. I am just myself when I'm an MNC. People ask me if I get stage fright. You know, like that moment when your heart skips a beat? Would you believe me if I said maybe since 2020, I have not experienced that before. Again, like it's been years since I have experienced that like stage fright before walking up on stage, whether if it's a virtual audience or a room full with 1,000 people. It's like I'm just talking to one person. That's how I feel. So I think because I've grown to be so comfortable in front of a stage, I just go with the flow. And again, from my perspective, I think the way I am on stage is the same as I am talking to people like one on one, off camera, on camera. Obviously, when you're on camera, there's certain things maybe you have to speak a bit slower, a bit faster. You have to maybe show more hand movement because these things are important for those watching you from like an audience size. But in terms of anchoring something, that's the way how I host friends at my house. That's the way how I do my birthday parties. That's the way how I celebrate my family. They get the same quality, whether I get paid thousands or I get paid nothing. I deliver all the time by just being myself. And because of that, I don't necessarily have a guideline or a rule book that I can share. I'm so sorry.
It's all good. It's like, hey, listen, guys, I'm sorry. You wanted the tea. There's nothing in the cup. There's nothing in the cup. I'm just myself. But no, I think that is important to. I think even being authentic is. I wouldn't say it's a skill. Obviously, I would say that
Yeah.
for a lot of people, like they're blessed to be authentic. But I think there's different spectrums of authenticity. There's people who are authentic, but they have to kind of be in the right scenario at the right time to then open up. And then there's people
Yeah.
no matter what the space, whether you're in a more professional setting with like industry leaders or you're more at a social function where like you're just
Hmm.
there for a good time. I feel like people
Yeah.
are able to bring those aspects of authenticity out. So if I'm at a social function, like I can go up and just literally like if people are just chilling or like let's say everyone's like quiet, like they're just waiting for things to get started. Like I will literally walk up to someone at Ume and I'll be like, y'all heard the new J. Cole album? Just like, were y'all pumping it? Just they're looking at me like, yo, what is this guy talking about? He's like, I'm just
Yeah.
curious. I just want to know, like,
Yeah.
what music do you tap into? Then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
that expands. Funny enough,
Yeah.
I actually have a story. Like, I remember going to an event, like back in 2023. It was a nice event where it was like arts and culture related, and I remember sitting there and like the conversation wasn't that it was bad, but it was just I'm losing sleep. I'm like, yo, this is not going anywhere. I was sitting beside someone that I
Mm.
met before. We both linked up for this event. And I kid you not, we were in the back. We were just talking about like high school memories. And
Oh
then
my.
people were just like turning around, like, who's that talking? It's like, I don't know what they're talking about, but I want to be part of that conversation. Literally, people were surrounding us off of this just simple fact that we were just having a good time. So that was me
Mm.
being authentic. I wasn't trying to like, oh yeah, let me like start
Yeah,
something.
take
Just like,
over.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it was just
Oh.
natural. So I think again to what you shared, being authentic allows you to not only just be comfortable and you're not always stressed, but also that people relate to that. I think people nowadays want to be more authentic and they want to see that authenticity on full display.
100%. I agree with everything you said.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, like, I love that. I absolutely love that. Um, Again, for people who are just coming in, where have you been? Like the show's been incredible. I'm
Where have
joking.
you
I'm
been?
joking.
You have missed out. But this is recorded, right? People can play back
Yes, yes.
afterwards. Awesome.
So people can come back in. But if you are just tuning in right now live, this is the Safe Room here on Love Bay Radio. It's your host, Sean Williams. I'm here with Adume. We've been having a fun, but also intellectual. Let's mention intellectual conversation, okay?
I like that. But balance it, right? It's
Yes.
always good to throw in those gems of wisdom for every fun podcast.
100%. So again, if you guys are listening, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. We're live right now on YouTube, LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, the Love Air website, all the fixins as per usual. Okay. Now, Adewume, I'm gonna have you participate in this little activity. It usually I tell all
Okay.
the people who are listening
Yeah.
that if you want to give a donation, there's a specific number that you can dial. Now, I always say most of the numbers. I leave the last two for the chats. I don't know who's in the chat right now. I hope Chris is still here so he can put down what I'm saying. But again, for people who want to leave a donation, because we do a lot here on Love Bay Radio, we really appreciate it. Remember, the number is 437-778-3299. Okay. I always leave the 99 out because I want the chat to put the 99. Okay. I usually pause and I wait for a response. So I'm gonna check back in with you, Adewume, at the end. So what? Once I say the number, I get to 32. You know what to say right after, right?
Got it. Okay. I
Okay.
think I think I got it.
Okay. Double check it. Double check it. But again, give a donation. It goes a lot. Okay. My final question before we get into our role play scenario. So, is MC work something everyone should give an attempt at? Or do you believe it's something that's more selective to a few? Or does it tread a gray area? Because you know what? I do feel like there's some people that
Hmm.
like they'll see or go to an event, they're like, wow, like I really love this MC. Like maybe I can do that. And then
Yeah.
obviously the MC community is like, like we'll have to see, but it's like we don't want to hold you back, but at the same time, like
Yeah.
we have to kind of see. So, what is your standpoint on that?
Mm. I'll answer it with a question. So it's like, should everybody give it a go to become a lawyer? Should everybody give it a go to become a doctor? Should they give it a go to become a analyst? I think that you can do anything you set your mind up to, but some things may come easier to some people, right? Some people they just find it easier to look at numbers all day. Some don't. Some find it easier to be more creative, like an artist, like a musician. Some don't. Some find it easier to talk. So I think doing an exercise around your skill sets will then determine if emceeing, hosting, public speaking is one of your forte or a skill that you actually like to do. You can do a lot of things with your life, but that doesn't mean that you actually like to do those things. That's how I would answer that question. Um, should everybody give it a go? Why not? I think you can try, If you don't like it, you don't have to do it professionally. You can do it for fun. Some do it professionally. Some people, this is their full time job. They make a living off of this, just emceeing, hosting events for large organizations. There's a need for it. I think it's important not to downplay something just because you don't see the importance of it or that you don't see the value out of it. In the same way, you can never tell a teacher or like a musician that, hey, because I don't think that's a skillful job, then your role is insignificant in society. No, it's not. There's been lots of weddings that people regret hiring their family members to MC when they could have just gotten an actual MC. So find out what you're good at, develop those skills, and grow in it.
Yeah, I honestly think that's like probably the most appropriate answer because, like you mentioned, if someone's like, "Oh, I want to be an MC," like, should I do it? It's like, well, what about these other career paths? Like,
Yeah.
you can do it if you put your mind into it. It's just understand that when you're going into it, I think it's also a level of respect. I feel if
Yeah.
you're going to try something, you need to respect the people who are already in the industry who are trying to make it better and grow. And like I get this question all the time when people
Yeah.
start a podcast. It's like what should I do? Like, should I get into it? And I'm like, hey,
Yeah.
listen, you can get into it, but like from what I've seen and experienced, like there is a statistic. Almost around 90% of people don't make it past 20 episodes when starting a
Ooh,
podcast. Like,
that's
there's
serious.
only a few people that crack that, like, oh, I'm over 20. And there's a even smaller that crack it over 100. So there's a reason. It's not about output or volume, it's commitment. There are going to be times where you're going to have those audio difficulties. You're going to have issues booking in guests, just being able to have those coordination systems in play. Are you
Yeah.
willing to do that? Especially if you have like a group of friends that you want to do it. And that's the most common thing. It's like, oh man, like you guys are so dope. You're so fun. Y'all should create a podcast. And I feel like there's like a red flag just I want to wave. It's like, unless you guys are locked in and you already have like a 6 month plan of how you want to get started, please just step away from the mic respectfully. Respectfully. I don't want
I
to
like
kill
that.
your
I
dream,
like that.
but like
Yeah. Uh,
respectfully step away.
yeah, yeah. And that's beyond podcasts. It can be about anything. Just because in the minute you have an amazing idea, let it, like, let it soak in. Sleep on it. Reflect on it. Is it actually worth the journey ahead? It's better to, finishing something is more important than starting it, in my opinion. Um, if you aren't ready for the journey, then just hold on and get ready.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Okay, so let's get into the role play. I know Love Bay loves this exercise, so I'm excited to always do it with my guests. So, Adume, we're going to pretend you're not talking to Sean right now. Like, this is a completely different person. And let's say I'm curious about Oratel. I'm curious about what you do. And let's say I'm looking for an MC. Like, right now, I'm trying to plan an event and like, I'm kind of desperate. Like, I don't know who to find because I don't know much people in my circle and I need to get
Yeah.
someone really good. I need like the top of the top.
Yeah.
So we're gonna treat it as if it's like a Zoom call, like I'm speaking to you. And again, for anyone who's listening out there, if you want to get Adume, please get her in advance because, like I mentioned, she is extremely busy, which is great because that means she's put it into work. So again, if you have something set up for next week, please push that event back. Push
I'm
it back.
booked. You gotta push your event to like summer right now.
Yes, yes. Okay, so okay, before we get started, again, I'm not Sean, so I'll give you the permission to give me a name, a different
Okay.
alias.
And you're pretty much looking for an MC for your event, right?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm meant to try to pretty much sell my services to you.
Yes, basically.
And it's a conversation, right? Like a role play.
Yeah, yeah. So again, if
Okay.
you could give me any name, again, I'm not Sean. So who do you want
Got
me
it.
to be in this?
Okay. I am in character. Three, two, one. Hey, Peter. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm doing really good. Honestly, I can't complain. I just wanted to take the time to sit down with you and just ask for your help because I was scrolling through on my IG. I'm trying to put together this event and I need an MC and like the people in my circle, not to be rude, like they suck. Like I can't trust them. And I saw some of the work that you're doing. So,
Yeah.
I had a couple of questions I wanted to ask you basically.
All good, no worries. Well, thank you so much for reaching out. I'm more than happy to walk you through everything. I'll briefly introduce myself, then I'll ask you a few questions to understand more about your event and just confirming that I'm actually available for it. So, firstly, my name is Adamumi Ejikere. I'm the founder of Oratel Experience. It's a luxury branding, emceeing, and hosting services. We do things professionally. We do events ranging from birthday parties, weddings, all the way to corporate events and social events. And we ensure that we meet the needs and the desires of the clients. So in this case, what I normally do is that we have a consultation call. It's free of charge. I will take all the details. I'll ask you a bunch of questions, and then within the next 3 business days, I send over a very detailed quote, just unpacking what we discussed and offering you my services at what rates. And then if you're locked in, you like everything, we then begin with the process. So how does that sound with you today?
Yeah, that sounds great. I think that's perfect, honestly.
Great. So Peter, what event is this?
Yeah, so this is an event that like I'm putting together for the first time. So I mean, I am a part of a baseball league. I got a couple of friends that we usually do like baseball on the weekdays, on like Fridays specifically. And we wanted to bring the baseball community here in Toronto more
Mm,
together. So
mm.
we decided, hey, let's do like a little like convention. Like anyone who loves like playing baseball, like let's just do something special. So we wanted to do an event. We wanted to book a venue specifically that fits around, I want to say 100 to 200 people, because again, we're trying to get different folks from like Toronto, Brampton, Scarborough, and we're looking to get some keynote speakers. We're actually getting Vladimir Guerrero Jr. We were actually able to win a grant. We're able to get him from the Blue Jays. So I'm excited. He's
Oh,
gonna
love
be
that.
speaking
Yeah, I love
at
that for
the
you.
event.
Okay. Okay, so this sounded like a great event. I'm just taking some notes here, just making sure I'm capturing everything you're looking for, Peter. It's a baseball meetup. You're expecting about 100 to 200 people. It's gonna be somewhere in the Toronto Scarborough region. You're looking forward to getting some of top people from the Blue Jay games, and you want a lively MC. Perfect. How many hours would this event be for? And then, is it just meant to be like a watch party? Are you just gathering people to watch the baseball games, and you want a bit of like hosting services to ensure things go smoothly? Is there going to be food served, refreshments, any other major key things that I need to be aware of?
Yeah, so we are gonna have different foods and refreshments. So we're looking to have a vendor help us out with the catering. And there is gonna be a watch party. I believe the World Baseball Classic is going on right now. So Team Canada is playing Team Puerto Rico. So that's gonna be a huge game.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate Vladdy coming on because technically he's supposed to be on Team Dominican Republic, but he's taking time of the tournament to come out and support, which I
Yeah.
appreciate. But yeah, we're gonna have food. There's gonna be a watch party. There's also gonna be different um, organizations there as well to help different baseball players when it comes to scouting and recruiting. Because I know there's some of them who are looking to get scholarships into different universities. So that's something we're also looking to set up. But that's mostly the game plan right now.
Okay. I like that. Now, when it comes to the vibe you're looking for, if you could describe the vibe you're going for in a few words, what would it be?
Well, as you may know, for us baseball fans, like we're very passionate and like we're very loud. So I definitely want to be where everyone's showing up with high energy. We don't want to be where you're just coming there and it's just okay, like I'm here, whatever. Like, no, we want people to get excited, not only for just like watching baseball, but also communication and just not communication, community, I would say community and being able to support each other. Because again, there's a couple of folks like we play baseball for the love of the game, but there's also a lot of the younger guys who are trying to get into the career of baseball professionally. So we want to have an environment that invites that excitement and invites that support
Yeah.
as
Yeah. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Um, so I normally like to get like a general gist of like, the plan for the day. And you talk about key moments, it sounds like you want it to be like high energy, and an opportunity to be able to support other people that are coming to watch the game as well. I want to believe that you would like to have maybe some games, some icebreakers to just bring the ice a bit so people can get to know each other a bit. It's possible that people have not met each other before at that event, so that's very important. You want to make sure there's enough time for people to get food. There's enough food as well. There's enough drinks. There's enough like music. So what I'm gonna do is that I will just take a step back, put something together, and we can set up time again and take it from there. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, yeah, that's absolutely perfect. Honestly, we have enough time right now. The event's not till like the summer, but I wanted to reach out to you early because from the looks
Perfect.
of your IG page, you looks like you're super busy.
Is there a date confirmed already?
Right now we're kind of thinking July 8th. Like
Okay.
obviously we are keeping in mind of like if it's tentative, like okay, we have to switch things around depending on Vladdy's
Yeah.
schedule, so but July 8th
Yeah.
right now is the date.
Okay. Okay. That's fair. Thanks for letting me know. Awesome. So I'll follow up with you shortly, Peter. And this was an amazing chat. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Perfect. Yeah, that was awesome. That might have been honestly the best role play we've done on the show. Like no joke.
I feel like you've been saying that about everything so far, Sean. Like, are
No,
you like just
I'm not.
trying to
I
make me
promise you, I
smile?
am not trying to gaslight you. I promise you, I am
Okay.
not. But like, I think it just goes to show how again you're like a natural speaker. Like, there's so many people I come on and trust me, I've interviewed like fellow podcasters.
Yeah.
But when I tell you, like, you are a natural speaker and it is a gift. I don't think a
Thank
lot of
you.
people have that ability to be authentic and to have such a bubbly personality at the same time as well. So again, it may sound like I'm glazing and everything like, oh my God, but like, no, generally it's like, I'm glad that we had this conversation. I think honestly, again, I've been seeing your page. It's like you mentioned, I didn't want to immediately reach out to you and then you're like, yo, who is this guy? I've never seen this guy in my entire life. I wanted it to like let me get to know her, understand her, and then I was very respectful, reaching out like, hey, like this, my name is Sean. I got this show. Would love for you to come on. We had our first pre-interview call, so I wanted to take the precautions. But again, you
Yeah.
definitely have a positive soul, which I think again a lot of people have positive soul, but like your soul definitely it just shines bright in any room you step in. So I just want to give you that love right now.
Thank you so much, Sean. And keep on doing what you're doing. It's nice to see all the people you've interviewed so far. We need people like you to exist as well, right? We just don't need speakers. We need all types of people. You are an amplifier. You know how to amplify things for it to get the right attention, the right visibility, the right connections. So please keep on doing that. And kudos to you and the team. I know that it is a lot of work to do this. I think I remember the last two digits of the number 99. Am I correct?
Yes. Yes. Okay, perfect. She got honestly that's perfect because I was about to wrap up and I was about to drop it on everyone, but I see that you remembered. But again, Adalumi, thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate your time again. Guys, if you want to leave a donation, there's still time. We're not off the air yet. We're about to wrap up. But again, y'all see the number 437-778-32. There
99.
we go. See, honest again. That's another thing I'll say too. A lot of guests they butcher it. They butcher it after I say the
How
32.
did I butcher
You're on
it? It's
point.
just like two numbers.
Hey, listen, such is life, such is life. But again,
Yeah.
thank you, Adalumi, for coming on. Quickly before we hop off, tell people where they can find you on social media.
Yes. So my name, Adarumi, and my last name, Ajike, Ajike. You can find my business page, Oratel Experience. That's ORATELLE Experience. Find me on LinkedIn as well. And if you do need an MC, you should book me. And you know what I can do? I feel like for any bookings I get this month before the month ends, you can get a special discount if you booked me through Sean.
Okay. Hey, I was not expecting that. I love it. I love it. Okay, perfect. Thank you again for coming on. And thank you for everyone listening to the Safe Room here today. If you want to find us on Instagram, we are at the Safe Room Official. If you want to follow my personal page, it is the president of TO, President Toronto, yours truly. If you
Ooh,
want to
love
check
that.
out yeah. Hey, listen, there's a whole story about my nickname, Mr. President. That's for another time. That's for another time. Um, Again, if you want to find us on YouTube, head to Love Bay Afrobeat Music Talk Radio. Just go to the podcast tab and you'll find the Safe Room right at the top. There's all our episodes are there. But also, if you want to check all of our previous episodes that are still up on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, just type in the Safe Room. I gotta update it. I know the latest. It'll show the latest episode was 2024. I promise you, I did not stop in 2024. We're just here now. We're here now. But I'm gonna integrate it. Don't worry. All the previous conversations on here are gonna be on Spotify. Don't worry. It's coming. Soon come. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for coming on, Adewumi. Thank you for everyone listening. And make sure you guys tune in next week to your favorite show here on Love Bay Radio. Until then, we'll see you guys next time.
Take care. Bye.